This is why robotic affirmations aren't working for you and what you can do instead. Hi, I'm Amy, and welcome to my channel. Here we discuss spirituality and psychology so you can manifest your relationships. I am a certified relationship coach and manifesting teacher, and in this video, I'm going to discuss robotic affirmations or robotic affirming and why it is that you might be struggling a bit, because I speak to a lot of people who have some people are doing 1,000 affirmations a day and using it as a challenge, which is great that you intend to change your mind about certain things. But as if you've followed this channel for a while now, you will know that I don't particularly support robotic affirmations or trying to hammer a belief into your subconscious mind, because it keeps it here. And what we want to do is bring it into the body. We need to actually change who we are being, so that the manifestation is actually available to us. Thinking of it is one thing, but actually being it really does make things happen so fast. So if robotic affirmations work for you, brilliant, you carry on doing that. But I'm guessing that you come to this channel because maybe they're not working for you. And I've tried robotic affirmations, and being honest, I did have small successes. I did see some changes from it. However, the idea of spending my life robotically affirming for something didn't speak to me. It didn't fill me with joy. And I wasn't very good at it either. I couldn't keep up with it. I would have so much resistance to it that I wouldn't deal with. I would just affirm over things. So if it is that you're doing this technique, if it is that you're literally repeating on a loop this certain affirmation, there are some really good reasons why this might not be working for you, and also what you can do instead to still make sure that you get what you want. Because my belief and my intention is that all of you get the stuff you want. So one main reason why robotic affirmations don't work is that the affirmations that people use, particularly when it comes to a specific person or a big manifestation, is they make the affirmation about said thing. So in other words, they are affirming for someone or some circumstance to change. And that's not what we're doing here. Manifestation isn't about control. It isn't about trying to hammer or manipulate something into place. Manifestation is about accepting what is and going within. So if it is that somebody isn't doing the thing that you want them to do, or if there's a circumstance that's really upsetting you, this is simply an invitation to go within and ask yourself, why am I so upset by this? What am I making this mean about me? And really get to the core of what it is that's really causing this triggered response from you. Maybe, maybe you've just been dumped, for example, and that's leaving you feeling rejected. It's leaving you feeling abandoned, not good enough, unworthy. These are the things we want to affirm, not that this person does this person loves me, this person's going to come back. We don't want to make the affirmation about the outside world, because ultimately the outside world is so unstable. It wouldn't really make sense to give your power away to something that is so unstable. And you need to be stable first. You need to become the person that has what you want. So if you are wanting a certain sort of treatment from somebody, but you don't feel worthy of it, no matter how much you affirm that this person treats me like this person buys me stuff, this person does X, Y, and Z, it's not going to stick, because you are not the person who naturally has that. You are not the person who naturally receives that sort of treatment or behavior. And this isn't a way to shame anybody, and this isn't a way to say that you don't deserve that, because everybody does. It is just a belief system that is stopping that from happening. And just a little story for you, a personal story of mine. If you follow this channel for a while, you'll know that I tried for years doing techniques to manifest my partner to live with me. He was so avoidant. He wouldn't communicate. He didn't take me out on dates. He didn't treat me very well. And I'm not laying all the blame at his doorstep, because ultimately I wasn't in a position where I could receive anything more than that, because I didn't think I was worthy of it. I didn't believe that I deserved that sort of treatment. So when I shifted, when I worked on myself and I really did shift those beliefs, then the behavior and the change that I'd been wanting for years happened and continues now, because I'm different. So when it is that you're trying to robotically affirm for something on the outside to change, you're going to have such a hard time, because it's not even you that's put it there. It's been put there so that you can see something about yourself, so you can let go of it, and the outside automatically changes. You don't need to try and control situations or circumstances or people for that matter. And the second reason why robotic affirmations might not work for you is because it's the feeling that manifests. It's not the words you're saying to yourself, it's the feeling and who you are being that manifests. So you could be affirming all day long that you're worthy, unless you feel and believe and know that you are indeed worthy. The outside world is not going to change, no matter how much you robotically affirm. So what do you do instead? One of my favorite techniques to really shift a belief is to actually visualize myself in that belief. I ask myself in meditation, who would I be if I had that belief? Who would I be if I didn't believe that I was unworthy? How would my life be different? What would people say to me? And as Neville Goddard said, you wear the cloak, you actually be the person that has that belief. And the more that you can grow that feeling, even if in the first instance it's just for a second that you feel it, it doesn't matter. Focus on that. Focus on the feeling rather than what your mind is telling you, because your mind's hyperactive. Your mind thinks it knows, but it doesn't. Your mind thinks it has the answer, but it doesn't. But also, your mind isn't stopping you from feeling that feeling. Your mind is not stopping you from getting to your end result. It's not that powerful. But what is powerful is actually becoming the person who has the desire. And if you want to go deeper into that, you can delve into inner child work and shadow work. And I've got tons of videos on how to do those practices that have really worked for me. But the thing that will get you your manifestation is the feeling of having it, the feeling of the naturalness of it, not how many times that you've said it. And the third big reason why robotic affirmations might not be working for you is because affirmations deal with the surface level stuff. They don't deal with anything that's deeper than that. So when you are affirming something, let's use worthiness as an example again. You might be affirming that you're worthy, but you might have an absolute stack of evidence that says that you're not. And unless we can clear out the crap that we've consumed and we've kept hold of, then that belief that we want is not going to make a dent in the ruck of evidence that we've got to say otherwise. So what do we do about that? First comes the understanding that you were not born with the belief that you were unworthy. You didn't put your hand up and say, please God, can I have this belief that I'm unworthy? You didn't do that. It was forced upon you, usually in childhood. And when you're a child, you're not exactly in a position to question what other people's feelings are towards you. So the only thing you can do is assume that it's you that's the problem, when in actual fact, it's probably adults in your life that have projected that belief onto you. So just another example from my own life, I had a huge belief that I was the problem. And this manifested all the way throughout my adult life, with jobs, with relationships, in parenthood, with money, every aspect of my life, this belief bled into. And this was because when I was younger, Whatever I did was never good enough. And because I grew up in quite a chaotic household that was never really stable emotionally, the only conclusion I could draw from the behaviours of my caregivers was that I must be the problem because they keep doing this, so it must be something about me that's wrong. And when I was going through inner child work and shadow work, what I actually did was manage to separate myself from that belief and understand that actually it was my caregivers that didn't feel good enough. And that was projected onto me. So then I was able to let go of that belief that I was the problem and not good enough. And when you can do these practices and let go of these horrible beliefs and these unwanted beliefs, you don't need to robotically affirm. You don't need to control the outside because you know what you deserve. You know that you are worthy. You won't need a circumstance to tell you that you are. You won't need a specific person to tell you that you're worthy. You are, in fact, and have always been worthy of the things that you want. It is your birthright to feel those feelings that you're craving, those feelings of love, acceptance, freedom, abundance, health, wealth. These are all accessible to you. You don't need to affirm them, just feel them, regardless of the circumstance. So I hope you found that video helpful. If you need any further help, drop a comment below and I will answer your question, but I will see you in the next video.